Johnson with his sharpest criticisms yet of President Trump. At a news conference this morning, he compared the policies of the White House to acts of terror.
Trying to force your will to break the spirit of working people in order to have a conversation, that's terrorism. We're not going to negotiate with terrorists.
I do want to talk about the Trump administration, the threats to withhold money for CPS, more than $1 billion over DE&I issues, and you've said you would sue if that happened. What is the status of this?
But this president doesn't care. It's the same person who freed January 6ers. He's more concerned about protecting his extreme base, the interests of the ultra wealthy, than actually supporting working people.
So imagine your city is broke, like a sinking ship with too many holes and not enough buckets. Crime is up, turning neighborhoods into no-go zones. People are packing their bags like it's an evacuation drill to get the hell out of there. In the schools, they're not just struggling, they're limping like an overweight mule on its last leg. Now imagine the mayor grabs the mic and says he's proud of only hiring people based on their skin color, not results, not experience, just race. That's not hypothetical, that's exactly what Brandon Johnson did. So like a firefighter showing up to a blaze tossing gasoline instead of water, he made the problem worse. And now the DOJ is investigating. At this point, he might be the worst mayor in America since Tiffany Hayard got voted out.
Somebody going to jail.
And that's like someone flunking clown school. This isn't leadership. It's a slow motion train wreck where the conductor is too busy posing for a diversity calendar while the city derails behind him. Let's get into it. The U.S. Department of Justice is officially digging into Mayor Brandon Johnson's hiring practices. Why? Because Brandon Johnson said the quiet part out loud at the church event, that 45% of his leadership team is black and that hiring his people is how he helps everyone.
And that set this all in motion.
The deputy mayor is a black woman. Department of Planning and Development is a black woman. Infrastructure deputy mayor is a black woman. Chief Operations Officer is a black man. Budget Director is a black woman. Senior Advisor is a black man. And I'm laying that out because when you ask how do we ensure that our people get a chance to grow their business, having people in my administration that will look out for the interest of everyone, and everyone means you have to look out for the interests of black folks.
The problem with that is Chicago is falling apart. I mean, check out this guy's approval rating. So I don't know what he's talking about. This guy seems to say and do the exact opposite of what a competent mayor would. Like he looked at the playbook for smart leadership and chose to run it backward. And somehow he thinks that diversity optics are going to win here. And speaking of the Department of Justice, while they're out busy investigating the mayor for hiring based on race, they're also going after another group pulling some shady moves, healthcare giants targeting seniors. And that brings me to something that actually helps people, especially if you are 65 or older. What's going on in healthcare right now, seniors are getting taken advantage of left and right. Some of the biggest Medicare companies in the country are literally under DOJ investigation for pushing senior citizens into bad plans just to line their pockets with kickbacks. That's why I partner with Chapter. They're not out there playing games. Chapter looks at every Medicare plan available, over 24,000 of them. So your parents, your grandparents, or even you can get real help, not a sales pitch. You'll be talking to a real human. It's completely free, and folks who have worked with Chapter have saved over $1,100 a year on average. Call 262-454-0419. Again, that is 262-454-0419. Especially with everything going on, don't get scammed by these Medicare middlemen. Call Chapter and protect yourself. Now let's get back into it. So let's get real here. Mayor Brandon Johnson, the Chicago mayor, has one of the worst approval ratings of any major city mayor. And think about it, Chicago is dealing with tons of problems: skyrocketing crime, budget deficits, failing schools, businesses are fleeing, homelessness is surging, and a city workforce ready to strike. And this man's priority is racial headcounts in City Hall. Nobody's saying don't hire black people. I'm black. I think we all want opportunities, but using race as a job qualification while the city is collapsing, that's not the flex he thinks it is. The DOJ's Civil Rights Division sent a letter saying that they believe that he might be making hire decisions based on race alone. That violates Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. In other words, if you're running a public office, you can't legally hire based on race, period. And the worst part, the feds said they're not just looking at his top people, but all hiring decisions across the city. And if they find a pattern, this could trigger lawsuits, fines, and maybe even consent decrees. And honestly, this is all his fault. Let's talk about how dumb all this is. First off, this isn't gotcha politics. He wasn't caught on a hot mic. He went on stage and bragged about this. In a moment where Chicago needs help, focus, leadership, he plays identity politics. It just doesn't make any sense. And even as a black man, you're not really helping us. You want to show that black leadership works, you have to fix the city. You got to make it safer. You got to balance the budget, invest in youth. You're just making everything into a punchline here. Because right now, Chicago is looking like the worst group project ever. And your big takeaway is that your squad is mostly black? Nah, man, like that's a terrible move. Here's the thing, hiring should be about merit, not melanin. You want to prove that black leadership is strong, you hire the best. You put the sharpest minds in the right places. Set the standard so high they can't deny us. That's how you uplift the community. Not by handing out jobs like participation trophies because someone checked the right demographic box. We need engineers who can fix potholes, not pose for press photos. We need budget directors who can balance the books, not just talk about equity. When the bar is performance, everyone wins. The people get competent leadership. And black excellence gets showcased the way it should, through results, not just rhetoric. And let's be honest, nobody's inspired by a leadership squad that feels like it's cast by central booking instead of City Hall. This isn't an episode of The Wire. This is city government. If someone's main skill is looking good on a flyer or throwing around buzzwords like equity without touching a spreadsheet or fixing a problem, well, we have a problem. It's insulting, honestly, because what you're saying is that being black is enough, that we don't need you to prove anything else. That's not equality. That's a setup for failure. That's how you build resentment and feed into negative stereotypes. If you want respect, earn it the same way every other leader is expected to, by delivering. Don't turn leadership into a social experiment gone wrong. Because when a city is crumbling, when lives are on the line, when kids are being shot and schools are being shut down, nobody cares about racial representation. They care about safety, results, and having leaders who give a damn about what they're doing. Diversity means nothing without competence. Merit has to come first, period. It's kind of like flying a plane. Do you care about the skin color of the pilot, or if the pilot actually knows what they're doing? Because if we don't focus on that, we're just running a city like it's a DEI themed group project, and everyone forgot to do the damn homework. And let's not forget, this is one of the worst mayors. I mean, it's possible he's worse than Lori Lightfoot. This is not his first scandal. He has tons of scandals. I mean, let's just cycle a few of them. He blew about $30,000 on hair and makeup for media appearances, spent tens of thousands of dollars upgrading his wife's office, pushed for pay raises and extra perks during a financial crisis, gave controversial contracts to politically connected groups, and totally and royally mishandled the migrant crisis and let the neighborhoods rot. So this DOJ probe, this didn't come out of nowhere. It's a pattern of incompetence by Brandon Johnson. Every time this man opens his mouth, he creates a new PR fire. Every time he makes a decision, it costs taxpayers more while delivering less. Now the feds are circling, his staff is lowering up, and the city morale is probably already on life support. Chicago is being run into the ground. And Mayor Brandon Johnson is a leader of this dumpster fire. By him using blackness as a shield and race as a hiring filter, he's undermining what real representation looks like. The message shouldn't be hire black people. It should just be hire great people, period. Because when you screw this up so bad, you're not really helping diversity, you're hurting it. So now we wait to see what the DOJ finds, and honestly, even if they clear him, he's probably has already lost the public. There's no way in hell he's going to get reelected. It's hard for me to believe that he will be reelected. If you want a role model, you gotta start acting like a leader, because the people of Chicago don't care what color you are. They only care if you can fix the damn city. So we'll keep tracking what's going on with the mayor. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. More breakdowns, more truth, less BS. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can check out my Patreon, and also you can subscribe to my email newsletter. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.